Mrs. Robinson. Heaven holds a place for those who pray. Hey, hey, hey. We'd like to know a little bit about you for our files. We'd like to help you learn to help yourself. Look around you, all you see are sympathetic eyes. Stroll around the gardens until you feel at home. And here's to you, Mrs. Robinson. Jesus loves you more than you will know. Whoa, God bless you, please, Mrs. Robinson. Heaven holds a place for those who pray. Hey, 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 hey. Hide it in a hiding place where no one ever goes. Put it in your pantry with your cupcakes. It's a little secret, just the Robinsons' affair. Most of all, you got to hide it from the kids. Cookie too, Mrs. Robinson. Jesus loves you more than you will know. Whoa, God bless you, please, Mrs. Robinson. Heaven holds a place for those who pray. Hey, 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 hey. Sitting on a sofa on a Sunday afternoon, going to the candidates' debate. Laugh about it, shout about it, when you gotta choose. Every way you look at this, you lose. Where have you gone, Joe DiMaggio? A nation turns its lonely eyes to you. What's that you say, Mrs. Robinson? Joplin Joe's left and gone away. Hey, 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 hey. Hey, how you doing? Justin here. Today we are checking out Mrs. Robinson by Simon and Garfunkel. An incredible tune for lots of different levels of guitar players. Beginners can play it pretty simply, just sticking with the regular chords. More advanced guitar players can get it stuck into doing the little walkdowns and more intricate kind of chordal embellishments. And of course, that little riff at the beginning there. And it's that riff at the beginning there, which is one of the reasons I'm a bit late doing this song. Like I should have done it years ago, but I always found that the intro was never quite right. I was never playing it in a way I'm like, yeah, this sounds like the record. So I finally decided to get stuck in and like do some proper research. This song's right up the top of the request board over on JustinGuitar.com. So I decided to just do some research, watch loads of videos of Paul playing it. And I think I've come up with a way that is pretty close to the record. The original one is definitely multiple guitar layers that kind of join together to make something pretty special. I can't play the little riff and sing over the top at the same time. Plenty of videos of Mr. Simon doing exactly that, but he's an incredible guitar player and he wrote the riff, which probably helps. So let's get stuck in. Like I said, we're going to start real simple with the basic chords, talk about the progression, singing along, then we'll add in some of those embellishments and finish off by having a look at that little riff part. So we're starting off with a capo or capo, tomato, tomato on the 2nd fret. I'm going to have an E chord. Now for the strumming here, just for this simple playthrough, I'm just going to strum on beat 1. Okay, the actual tempo is quite fast, so even if I was doing like 4 strums to the bar, it would feel a little bit difficult. There's a couple of quirky things here, particularly in the verses. There's a little section which is 5 bars of E, which is unusual. Most times in music we have these groups of 4 or 8 or 16 or 12, whatever, but 5 is a bit weird. And it's super musical in this context because it's like just a gap after the vocal phrase, but it's important to be aware that exists, and I think keeping the strumming real super simple to start off with is the best way of demonstrating that. So we're just going to start off with, there's 4 bars there where the riff is played. So we have this ba-ba-do-bum-ba-dum, ba-ba-do-bum-bum-bum. Then we have the do's. Then that extra bar. Then to the A. Then to G, D. G, C, A minor. Back to E. And here's to you. And we're into the chorus. Okay, let me go through that one more time, just keeping it real super simple. So we have E with the riff. That's happening for 4 bars. Now the do's. There's that extra bar. Now to the A. There's 4 bars on the A. Now D. C, A minor for 2 bars. Then E for 2. D. Then we're into the chorus, which just goes G, then to E minor. G, it goes to E minor, to C, then to D, and back to G, then to E minor. G and back to E minor, to C, then to A minor, back to the riff. So that's the 2 progressions. There are lots of variations and cool things that we can add to it, but essentially that's what you need first of all. And if you're a beginner, you probably want to start by just keeping it simple. If you can't play it simply with very easy strumming and know where you are, you're never going to play it more complicated, and you're definitely not going to sing it and play it at the same time. You've got to be confident with where the rhythm is and where the chord changes are with simple strumming before you get into doing any fancy embellishments. So particularly if you're a singer, you want to be singing along with this song, just keep that rhythm real simple. Okay, I'd recommend just 1 strum on beat 1 is a good starting point. If you want to add later on a little bit more and maybe strum on 1 and 3, so kind of twice as many strums, that could work as well. Let's just go one more time through that whole thing. So from the intro, we're thinking like 1, 2, 3, 4. Now the do's. Here's the extra bar. Now to the A. Then to D. G, C, A minor for 2. D7 or D, and here's to G, Mrs. E minor. G will love you, E minor to C, then to D, and back to G, then to E minor. G and go to E minor to C, then to A minor, then to E. Now, I like going back to the little riff there if I'm playing it and you've learned the riff. Otherwise, you can just strum on the E. But let's just go through the verse now so you can see what's going on rhythmically. It's important to be aware of the phrasing of the lyric as well. One thing that I make a little note of, I've got a little screen here where I put my lyrics up, is I often highlight the word that falls on beat 1. We'd like to know a little bit. Okay, because if you start on, we'd like to know a little bit about you, you'll end up in a funny spot. So making sure that you're aware of the word that comes right on the beat, I think, can be really helpful. So let's just play through that little section. So 1, 2, 3. We'd like to know a little bit about you for our files. There's the extra bar. We'd like to help you learn to help yourself. Look around you, all you see are sympathetic eyes. Stroll around the gardens till you feel at home. And here's to you, Mrs. Robinson. Jesus loves you more than you could know. Whoa, God bless you please, Mrs. Robinson. Heaven holds a place for those who pray. Okay, I thought I'd just give you that little run through there so you can see the way the lyrics and the chords or the beats, the bars, fall together. It's pretty important. The rest of the verses and the rest of the choruses, even though the lyrics are changing a little bit, obviously the second chorus has got the coo-coo-coo thing. Sorry, the third chorus has the coo-coo-coo, and the fourth chorus is completely different, the Where Have You Gone, Joe DiMaggio part. But I would recommend, as a starting point, being able to play this just strumming on beat 1 and play all of the way through the song before you try and make it any more complicated. Play along with the original recording. Just get used to the feeling of it. If you want to sing along with it as well, but just get real solid with the rhythm. So the arrangement I've come up with when I'm playing this song uses a fairly complicated strumming pattern. There's quite a few different things going on, especially when we add in moving bass lines and embellishments and stuff like that. But what I'd recommend you do is have like a bridging strumming pattern that you can use between real simple, just playing one strum on each bar, and then playing a full-on version where you're picking up bass notes and adding embellishments and stuff. What I would recommend is that you play the bass note on beat 1 and then do 3 strums on beats 2, 3, and 4. So just on the E chord, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. It'll really help you get used to this idea of picking out the bass notes, which we do more of as we make the progressions a little bit more complicated and add in these kind of moving bass lines and stuff. But if you're not hip already with that, you're never going to get the walking bass stuff, right? So we'd like to know a little bit about you for our fight. We'd like to let you learn to help yourself. Look around you, all you see are sympathetic eyes. Did something slightly different there, but anyway. Stroll around the gardens till you feel at home. Now there is actually a little bit to unpack there, because once we start doing this, the E, it's fairly simple, right? Because you're picking out that bass note. But when it moves to the A, you have to be able to control your pick to find that bass note and then do the strums again. Now, what you can't see from the video very clearly is my little finger is just resting on the pick guard there underneath. Like you don't normally see it. I might be strumming around like that. Looks like I'm not doing anything, but little finger is just resting quite often. Not all the time when I'm strumming is little finger resting on the pick guard. If I'm doing big motions, obviously not. But when I've got to pick out notes individually, I find it really helpful to have a little finger anchor there. A lot of the great guitar players that I really like do a similar thing. I think Paul Simon does as well. He's an anchor player quite often. So it might be something to explore if you struggle there. So with the A, just picking out the bass note. Now it gets more complicated because it goes D, where you have to pick out the 4th string, then G on the 5th string, C, where you're picking the 5th string, A minor is on the 5th string as well, E to D. So I'd recommend kind of applying that pattern as well. Works just as well for the chorus. So, and here's to you, Mrs. Robinson. Jesus loves you more than you will know. Oh. Okay, so I'd start with that. The next kind of step up will be playing the bass note and then down, up, so it becomes a little bit more strummy. Bass, down, up, bass, down, up, down, up. I'd like to know a little bit about you for a fight. I'd like to help you learn to help yourself. Look around you, all you see are sympathetic eyes. Now I'm going to have to show you that walk down now, aren't I? Stroll around the gardens till you feel at home. I've already introduced it. Let's check out a couple of these little chord variations because they do make quite a big difference, I think. So in the verses, we'd like to know a little bit about you for a fight. Nearly always, I'm going to be adding little finger down, 3rd fret of the 2nd string for an E7, particularly on that rogue 5th bar. On the original recording, there's lots of variations and lots of different layers, and the E7 comes earlier, but I feel like if I'm playing it on my own, a nice kind of way of accentuating that extra bar before the next section is just to pop the E7 there. But I would encourage you to make up your own version and or listen to the recording or some of the live performances of this song and pick out the ones that you want to make your own version of it. That's my recommendation. So now we're coming in bar 5. So E, 2, 4, E, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4, E7, A. Again, I very often play A7 here. I add the third finger down on the third fret of the thinner string. Again, you could use this A7 if you're more familiar with playing A like that. You could lift off your first finger there. I like the sound of the one with the G on the top, but it's just, again, personal preference. Be completely up to you which one of those you wanted to do. And then D, G. Now, that's definitely there. Like, you want to be having C, G. Well, it's either a C with a B bass or a G with a B bass, depending on which way you hear it. I'm kind of hearing it as a C with a B bass, to be honest. And then it's going to A minor. So that bass note is coming on beat 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you just want to pop that one in there. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. So bass chord, bass chord, bass chord. Now this chord here at the end going into the chorus, I think the original recording is D7 with an F sharp bass. So you could play D or you could play D7, or if you want to get clever, you can grab that thumb over to play that F sharp bass note. I like the sound of the F sharp bass note, but I'm aware that many beginners will really struggle to play a D7 chord and then get the thumb to come over and play that bass note. It's not very easy. It's a good skill set to develop, getting the thumb over to play the F sharp bass. There's lots of different songs have that D with an F sharp bass in there. It's the D chord, it can be quite thin, having only 4 strings. So like bringing that into the bass kind of gives it a lot more body in the chord. It's a good skill to learn. I'd encourage you to do so. But if you really can't do it, then you'll be all right. So let's just go through that chorus again, the verse one more time, and I'll add in all of those things. So 1, 2. We'd like to know a little bit about you for our files. E7. We'd like to help you learn to help yourself. A7 if you want. D. Look around you. G and A. C with a B bass. A minor. E. Stroll around the grounds. D with an F sharp bass. And here's to you, Mrs. Robinson. Please it's helps you more than you will know. What's going on now? It's all got different again. So on the original recording, there's this really lovely kind of line that goes C, B, A, G, D, C, B, A, G. It's a really lovely line. I like it on the C when I'm playing by myself, but just because of the physical nature of the chord, to do it on the D, you'd have to... And it feels awkward under my fingers. So the arrangement that I'm proposing is doing the walk down on the C and not the D, right? It's not such a dominant part that you like have to do it or the song doesn't sound right, but it is a nice embellishment that you can add in there, and it gives it a kind of little bit more movement, stretches out a little bit beyond the beginner realm. So you've got a choice here. You can either ignore it completely on the C and just play C and then for a couple of bars and then go straight to the D, or you can do the walk down just on the C and just strum on the D, or you could find a way to do it on the D. Like I said, for me, the juice ain't worth the squeeze there on the D chord. It's cool, it sounds great, but I feel like I perform the song better when that complicated bit isn't there. Your choice. Okay, let's just go through that again. So chorus, so it goes from G to E minor, G to E minor, to C, B bass, A, G. So this C, I'm moving my second finger over to play the note B, then putting it back to its regular position. I'm playing the open A string, and then I'm using my third finger, so technically it's a C with a G bass, whatever, but it's just a walk down. And then I'm just be regularly playing the D, but if I wanted to, the way to approach it would be D, Now, again, if you play that sus2, I mean, it sounds okay, or you could just mute it with your third finger. That's a fingering that you might want to try. Second finger to play the C, big finger swaps to D. Or it's one of those things where you can choose how complicated you want to make it, and sometimes the chords that are not strictly right, like having that sus2 in there, or playing it with the B bass without the note A in there with the second finger, so you can play either that or that. I mean, you know, in the moment, is anyone going to really notice it? I don't know, but you'll notice it, so you get to make the choice as to which one of these more complicated versions you're going to add in. Another little embellishment that I'm not sure is on the record or whether I've been putting it in accidentally, but I put a little hammer on there with the second finger on the A minor quite often. So I can't remember if it's on the record or not, I'll be honest, but it's one that you could choose to have or not, completely up to you. So I'm going to play through a verse and a chorus with all of these little variations, but without too much more complexity in the strumming. I'll see if I can get through that so that you can see all of these bits in action. So starting off on the E, we'd like to know a little bit about you for our finest E7. We'd like to help you learn to help yourself. D, look around you, G, you see a C with a B bass to A minor. E, stroll around the gardens. D with an F sharp bass or D7, and here's to G, Mrs. E minor. G is going to E minor, then to C with a walk down, to D, and the G, then to E minor, G and going to E minor to C, A minor, E. And I think that's about it for the chords and the variations. That just leaves the riff. Now, the original recording's definitely got some really cool layers, and there's a really good snap on one of the strings as well, which I've struggled to replicate in a one guitar situation, and I don't notice it happening all the time when Paul's playing it live. There's quite a few videos of him playing this song live as well, just on his own, so you can kind of get a bit of a look. And like I said, this is kind of my best guess as to what's going on here, and I think it sounds pretty close. It might not be exactly the way it's being done, because I think Paul's playing it with his fingers, and I couldn't make that work for me, but you know, we're all different, and hopefully you'll enjoy playing it this way. If you want to figure out a way of playing it fingerstyle, then of course I would encourage you to explore all of these things on your own and come up with your own versions. But what I'm going to show you is a way of playing the riff I think sounds pretty cool and pretty much like it. So I'm starting here with a down pick on the 4th string and then an up pick on the thicker string. Then on the next motion, I'm picking down on the open A string, open 5th string. Obviously, I mean, I've got the capo, but you know what I mean. I'm lifting off my 2nd finger and then hammering it down. 3, 4, 1, E and up, 2, 3, 4. That'll be the count. 1, E and up. Then we play again a down pick on the thicker string. Then we play that thicker string, up, open D string, so 3rd finger is now off, thicker string, and then, I can't think today, 3rd finger back down where it belongs on the E, and then we're back on the thicker string. So we end up with this pattern, nice and slow. 2, 3, 4. With the rhythmic count, so you can see how it fits together, we got 1, E and up, 2, E and up, 3, 4. Bit slower. 1, E and up, 2, E and up, 3, 1 E and a 2 E and a 3, 4. And usually I'd just be finishing with a bass, strum, bass, strum. I'm having fun with it now. It's funny when you get these things under your fingers and you start thinking about it, it becomes way, way harder. It's one of the hardest things with this teaching malarkey, I think, is just like you get it together and you learn the thing and you think, like, yeah, I can explain it like this. And as soon as you're thinking about it, your brain goes, rah! Anyway, hopefully you get that. Slow, careful practice is definitely the way to go. Just thinking 1 E and a 2 E and a 3, 4. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3. And one thing that I'll tell you for free when you're practicing is not to worry about it if you miss a note. No one will care. I'm sure in that intro, I haven't watched my intro performance-y thing back yet, but for sure I will have missed some of those notes when I was doing that riff because I'm focusing so much on trying to be in the moment and in the music that I'm not really thinking about the technical stuff. Again, like thinking about it, it all goes pear-shaped. So if something like that goes wrong, as long as the riff is mostly there, like, you know, if you're Paul Simon playing at the Super Bowl, then yeah, man, you would have probably get it exactly right. But like for the rest of us, it doesn't matter that much, right? What a tune. Such a beautiful one. I'm actually this is definitely making it to my repertoire of songs that I just enjoy playing when I've got friends around having a party or whatever, because it's just, yeah, great song and really good for different levels of player as well, because you can keep it real simple and just easy strumming, or you can add in all of these cool embellishments. I think it's, yeah, great track. Really hope that you've enjoyed playing it. There's loads more lessons over on the website. Plenty more Simon Garfunkel and Paul Simon over there as well. So do go check it out. And if you want to request a song as well, remember justinguitar.com/songs. It's at the bottom of the songs page. I said request, I think, earlier, but it's not. It's justinguitar.com/songs. Man, I'll learn about I promise I'll eventually learn about where the web pages are on my own website. Would be pretty helpful. Hey, have yourself a fantastic day, and I'll see you for plenty more very soon. Bye-bye.